Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video. Hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. Now, before the season properly begins for Chelsea on Monday night at the Amex, I want to give you 5 things I'm excited about for Chelsea's 2020-21 season. I'm excited for it, I hope you guys are as well. But before we get into any of that, I want to ask you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also hit that like button if you're enjoying the content because it helps out the channel as well. Let's get into my list. Firstly, with number 1, new signings. A fresh injection of faces, and these aren't any old faces. These are big improvement, bold signings. It all started back in February when we signed Hakim Ziyech from Ajax. A very early move by Chelsea, and it signaled the start of an amazing transfer window we've seen play out over the summer. After Ziyech, which was a big signing, especially on the right side of Chelsea's attack with Willian and Pedro's future up in the air at the time, we've seen Timo Werner arrive, one of the top goal scorers in European football. Ben Chilwell, a key addition at left back in a weak area with lots of potential and Premier League experience. And then Kai Havertz, the wonder kid, one of the most sought after young talents in the world. Also signing Thiago Silva, adding that experience at the back, and hopefully will rectify some of the defensive issues we saw last season. For me, the big thing now is Chelsea aren't looking to settle, they're looking to level up and get back into the Premier League title race, which we've been out of in recent seasons. I also think on top of this, it's the unified thinking now at the club between Frank Lampard, Petr Cech, and also the board, which maybe wasn't there in recent seasons. I mean, fans were concerned and confused about some of the additions, the lack of improvements, especially in that 2017 transfer window. And if you compare the 2017 transfer window under Conte compared with the 2020 transfer window, it's night and day, and there's been big improvement. Hopefully, we'll start to see that improve the first team. Number 2 is Frank Lampard's vision improved. Of course, last season, Frank Lampard arriving at a time of big uncertainty. Of course, Maurizio Sarri leaving the club, the transfer ban, Eden Hazard, the young players coming into the team. I think there was uncertainty around Chelsea, and I think that was partly to do with the situation Frank Lampard found himself in, the lack of improvements in the transfer window, which we couldn't make because of the ban, but also Lampard only being in his second year as a coach. What was Frank Lampard trying to implement? We saw different formations over the season in a 3-4-3 and a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1 at times, and also on top of that, Frank Lampard wanting flexibility and versatility, which some of his new players do bring him, especially in attack. But I do think this year, hopefully with that first year under his belt, Frank Lampard will start to have a more clearer vision in his team, a more unified vision. Defensively, Chelsea have to improve. That's not only on the players' performances, but for Frank Lampard to set up a more cohesive defensive structure to protect us against transitions, which we got done by a lot last season. And also defensively, a massive flaw, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell, hoping to improve that. And also the fast-moving, intense play, which was the best elements of Frank Lampard's game last season. Mason Mount, a key part of that. And with Werner, Ziyech and Havertz alongside an informed Pulisic, we'll hopefully see this fast-moving style more consistently at the bridge this season. Number 3 is going to be Christian Pulisic, and I could just end this point there, to be honest. I could just say Christian Pulisic. He was incredible at the back end of 1920. He really was. Captain America was a joy in 1920, and the unfortunate thing was the fitness issues he had, especially during the winter months of the year, because when he came into the team after a slow start under Lampard, he broke into the team and exploded, scored that amazing hat-trick at Turf Moor, really looked like an incredible player, a big player in Chelsea's attack. When he returned after Project Restart, he was incredible once again. His anticipation for goals, but also just his talent on the pitch, the ability to create something out of nothing. And I think with the new players we brought in, I think he will be reaching new levels as a mercurial game changer, seeming to get better and gain confidence with every game he plays. I think this year he's going to get more game time. If he stays fit, I think he can be our best player and a key ingredient in Chelsea's success. Number 4 is attack, attack, attack. My big thing with this is, yes, Chelsea do need to improve defensively, but what I really don't want to see from Chelsea moving forward, even with some defensive issues still to rectify this season, is us backing away from progressive play and returning to the counter-attacking years of Conte and Mourinho. I just don't think it'd be good for us anymore. The attacking talent we have make us one of the most threatening teams in the league, and given what has succeeded in the Premier League in recent seasons with Liverpool and Manchester City, being progressive gets you more rewards. Of course, Lampard has to improve his structure of the team to allow us to flourish in attack and be more solid defensively, which hopefully a player like Thiago Silva will bring. But I think just for me, the philosophy now of Chelsea, we have to be an attacking team. We have to move the ball quickly. We have to be progressive in our ideas. I really don't want to see defensive performances week in, week out, going away to Man City like we did under Conte at times, just hoping we get some sort of result. That's not the way Frank Lampard wants to play. That also doesn't suit the style of player we have in the squad anymore. They're very much possession-based, creative players, especially in midfield as well, with the likes of Mateo Kovacic flourishing last season. And with the attacking talent of Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Mount, Tammy, Giroud, Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-ODOI, I think Chelsea can become the most devastating team in the Premier League this season. And lastly, it's going to be the youth revolution, which to some people seems to be ending now, especially outside of Chelsea because of the influx of new signings. But I disagree. I think these players will raise their game, and if they don't, they won't make it at Chelsea. That's what being a Chelsea player is. You have to raise your standards, and Frank Lampard proved that better than anyone during his career at Stamford Bridge. And I think the likes of Mason Mount, who got over 50 appearances last season, Tammy Abraham, who scored 18 goals last year, Reece James at right back for Kyle Tomori, Billy Gilmore, there will be opportunity for youngsters. The big thing with Frank Lampard compared to other managers and other regimes at Chelsea, if you prove your worth in training, if you work hard, it's a meritocracy. Lampard showed last season he isn't scared to put youngsters in there if he feels they're better than the senior players in the squad. So I still think with a lot of games in a very congested season where rotation is going to be very important, I think the likes of Hudson-ODOI, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Reece James for Kyle Tomori, Billy Gilmore, maybe some others from the academy will get time this season under Frank Lampard. But that is it for my list of things to get excited about for 2020-21 with Chelsea. Please let me know your opinions in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.